Good evening, and thanks always for keeping a date with us on the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program sponsored by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to showcase the richness of Nigeria's agricultural sector and the efforts of relevant stakeholders in the public and private sectors to develop the agricultural sector. I am your host, Gabriel Ojile. Cassava is one of the crops that is widely consumed and used for different purposes. In this episode of the program, we are showcasing some private groups and individuals who are making great impact in cassava farming, processing, and marketing in Nigeria. But before then, we have news stories from the diary of the ministry. Keep watching.
Ensure that we provide the necessary policy direction that will truly position agriculture as the mainstay of our economy.
The federal government is removing obstacles and offering opportunities for self-employment, wealth creation, and food security in the Nigeria's agricultural sector.
Think farming, think agriculture.
Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, showing on NTA Fridays at 8:30 p.m.
Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development inaugurates Delivery Coordination Unit to enhance delivery of agricultural projects. Also, federal government flags off distribution of veterinary equipment to boost livestock production. Details will come your way in just a moment. Keep watching. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, has inaugurated a delivery coordination unit for the purpose of tracking performance and implementation of the ministry's areas of priorities in the agricultural sector. Umahihe, during the inauguration, which took place at the ministry in Abuja, stated that during the ministerial retreat held last year, stakeholders found a need for each MDA to have its delivery coordination unit, which would work in harmony with central delivery unit in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to ensure a uniform template of tracking performance of the ministries, departments, and agencies. The Permanent Secretary added that the inauguration of the FMAT Delivery Coordination Unit would ensure proper coordination of the ministry's priority areas and help the ministry to perform better in the areas where improvement is needed.
The initiative was institutionalized by establishing the Central Delivery Coordinating Unit in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to coordinate the activities of various MDAs on the periodic ministerial performance reporting process. I want to therefore appreciate the support of the CDCU to this ministry in the areas of training and guidance of our desk officers, without which we will not have achieved much, and urge the CDCU to sustain this support.
Also speaking in an interview after the inauguration, the Technical Assistant to the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, and Coordinator of the Central Delivery Coordination Unit, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Esegi Ebei Esegi, stated that from the onset of the second term of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, the President came up with 9 priority areas which his administration will focus on. And to actualize the set goals, the President has 302 deliverables for the ministries, and the Central Delivery Coordination Unit will help in evaluating the performance of each ministry in line with the President's vision.
It will help to get or gather a pool of data on the progress implementation of ministries' priority areas, their deliverable, what the President wants them to deliver on. So the objective of setting the office is to work and liaise with these ministries. We have set, we have the indicators that we have set, targets have been set, so now we are tracking implementation to know how far the ministries have gone in implementing their mandates. And we also do what we call working with them to try to ensure that if there are issues, if there are bottlenecks, if there are challenges, they are brought to the fore, and then we see how we can work with the ministries to resolve these issues, to enhance performance.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, recently flagged off the distribution of veterinary equipment, laboratory reagents, and consumables to state ministries of agriculture, veterinary teaching hospitals, and research institutes to boost animal production in Nigeria. Speaking during the flag-off at the Veterinary Council of Nigeria office in Maitama, Abuja, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Muhammad Mahmoud Abubakar, who was represented by the Director of Federal Department of Veterinary and Pest Control Services, Memuna Habib, stated that the equipment will help in the diagnosis, prevention and control of animal diseases such as African soil fever, avian influenza, rabies, Newcastle disease, among others.
I therefore urge the beneficiaries to ensure that these items are judiciously put into use, hoping that this will enhance the provision of quality services that will strengthen the capacity of the National Veterinary Services in the prevention, containment, and control of livestock diseases in the country. In our part, we shall continue to do our best within the limited resources at our disposal to support the implementation of animal disease control programs for the nation. However, we enjoyed all the state government to also play their respective roles so that together we shall consolidate on the considerable gains recorded in the country.
The highlight of the event was the presentation of the items to the beneficiaries. Agricultural and industrial sectors across the globe are majorly driven by private organizations. The Nigerian agricultural sector is not an exception. To move the nation forward in agricultural transformation, the private sector has a pivotal role to play. In our next segment, we are showcasing the cassava value chain opportunities with major emphasis on Newage Group, what they have been able to do with cassava chain, and the lessons that others in the private sector can learn. Keep watching.
Cassava is a woody shrub with an edible root which grows in tropical and subtropical areas of the world. It is rich in carbohydrate, vitamins, and essential minerals. Because cassava is rich in essential ingredients for consumption and industrial purposes, cassava and its byproducts are in high demand in sub-Saharan Africa. Nigeria is #1 in cassava production in the world. However, most cassava farms are cultivated by both smallholder farmers and large-scale farmers. Newage Groups, a multifaceted company, has a stake in cassava production. Established in 1991, Newage engages the processing of cassava along the entire value chain.
Newage Group is an agricultural and agribusiness-based company that has about 6 to 7 interrelated conglomerates of various companies in the conglomerate that deals in agribusiness and agriculture. We manufactured and fabricate local indigenous agro-processing equipment, and aside from that, we maintain a specialized farm. Where you met us yesterday is called the Sustainable City, which harbors 3 of our company: the farm, the food processing hub, and at the same time, the Newage Institute of Sustainable Agriculture.
Newage Group agribusiness is driven by the need to solve Africa's food problem through fabrication of equipment for mechanization, farming, processing, and training of others who are interested in agribusiness.
Our area is that we do business, we master the business, we call it train and teach people how to do the same business so that we can both solve the problem. So our own concept of business is different from other people, that when they do particular business, they don't share the vision, they don't share that, they don't want, no. We do the business, we spend a lot of money on research on R&D, and we call a lot of people to come and see the success, and we don't celebrate our success. We leave it for other people to celebrate because we know we still have a long way to go. So that's the way we operate.
One of the uniqueness of Newage Group worthy of emulation is its ability to engage in every facet of cassava value chain, be it farming, processing, and marketing.
We are reputed to be one of the leading cassava farmers in Africa. We maintain about 6,000 acres of cassava farmland, the sustainable city where you met us yesterday, and also we have expanding to our agri-city. That's where we have acquired about 10,000 acres of farmland. But that place will be a shared economy where we have subscribers that we also take ownership of that city. Okay, so that farm feeds directly into our food processing plant where we have the starch line, the high quality cassava line, and the integrated cassava processing unit.
Having raw material that can be used to produce the desired product is the lifeline of a processing company. One of the strategies Newage Group uses in getting its raw material all the time for processing is through continuous cultivation regardless of seasons.
One of the ways we have organized our farm is to stagger our plants in such a way that we can have harvest all year round, because our cassava feed directly into our farm. Depending on the climatic condition and the extent of rain-fed, we can plant cassava as long as we have rain. Like for example, last year we planted cassava up to December last year. Okay, and what we try to target is to make sure that we plant cassava almost every month of the year, because one good thing about cassava is drought resistance. Once you plant it and it sprouts, then it can be guaranteed that it's going to survive until the rain-fed commences. So that's what we do. And the reason why we do that is because we want to ensure that we have cassava to harvest all year round, to feed into the processing plants that we have.
A tour of the processing factory of Newage Group shows how cassava is manually and mechanically processed from the peeling stage to the grinding, from the grinding section to the wet section, where water is drained from the cassava, and to the drying section, where it is fried. It is then moved to the packaging section. These processes result to this cassava product, popularly called gari.
We are operating from end to end, and when we do all those things, we have a processing that we fabricate all the equipment. We equally have a center to process cassava flour, high quality cassava starch. Then we develop a product we call odorless fufu. Then we have a gari. We are the one that started gari mechanization in Nigeria and Africa. So we spend our money on the investment. We design the machine, we install it, and now we're installing it for other people to see we can actually mechanize gari, and we can promote gari beyond what Nigeria and Africa is taking, that other country can actually eat gari. Same thing we are now doing on fufu now. That fufu doesn't even need to smell. We've taken fufu to a level that you can eat fufu and it digests faster, and you can get the value for the money. So we call it odorless. All these products are coming out from cassava. So be able to master and the waste we get from cassava, we turn it to animal feed.
Agricultural sector is the sector with the highest potential of job creation for Nigeria. Newage Group employs many Nigerians in its factory. This indeed is a major impact the company has made, which needs to be replicated by other individuals or groups who have what it takes to invest in the agricultural value chain.
Basically, directly, people that work with us, we have about 300 staff that work directly with us. But in the ecosystem, there are quite a number of other people, like our suppliers, like our vendors that provide one services or the other, outside the 300 that are on our payroll directly. And good enough, our staff have been loyal to us. They've been working assiduously. They've been a significant factor to reckon with when it comes to the success of Newage Group.
Aside those directly employed here, Newage Group also provides training to farmers and opportunity to other service providers to collaborate with the group along the agricultural value chain. These collaborations in farming, processing, and marketing have enhanced production and food security.
We have what we call sustainable city, whereby all the Newage Group investment are there. When you talk of the training school, the assembly, the farm, the processing, everything. So now we are not taking it to agri-city. We now sat down with my team to say, okay, it's not about us. We really want to solve this problem, and we really want to create a template that people can pick it in any part of the agriculture country and they can use. Since we know the peculiar problem we're having is we like doing things alone. So we are creating a kind of shared economy. We call it Agri-City. So Agri-City is the next level we are promoting in order to solve the major problem of Nigeria and African problem.
Newage Group is a leading cassava farming operation. It has over 6,000 hectares of land in use, about 10,000 hectares newly acquired, and a production output of 150 tons of cassava per day. For Newage Group, marketing of their products is never a challenge, and this indeed is an encouragement to other potential investors in the agricultural sector.
Our production is market driven. We produce for the market. We have a marketing department, and apart from that, apart from our marketing managers, we have sales department. We have sales people that goes around to interact with the markets, conduct survey, and then apart from that, we maintain depot all around. Everywhere we have our market. So after production, we ship our goods into our depot, and then that will now be left for our marketing manager and sales people, to meet with all our wholesalers and our distributors all around the country, to get them across to all our customers.
1 hectare of land, the production cost we spend not more than 250 per hectare. And on that 1 hectare, we were able to see 35 to 40 metric tons per hectare. 1 metric ton of cassava per hectare is 50,000. If you realize 35 tons of cassava per hectare and you sell it each ton 50,000, that 50,000 multiplied by 35.
The program is transforming agriculture in Nigeria, and we are showcasing the role of the private sector in the cassava value chain towards self-sufficiency in production and processing. Farmer cluster and cooperative societies are working models that have been helpful in enhancing agricultural production. In our next segment, we are featuring Farmers Cooperative Society in the Southwest, which is called Otitobori Group. What is their story, and what benefits have they derived from the synergy the farmers have built? What lessons can be learned from their operation? Keep watching as we provide answers to these questions and more.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, in its determination to transform the agricultural sector, encourages farmers to form clusters and cooperative societies for government and other development partners to easily reach out to them in the area of input and financial assistance. The call has yielded positive results for farmers who have formed one cooperative or the other. One of such farmers' cooperative is Otitobori Farmers Cooperative, which spreads across the southwest of Nigeria.
Otitobori is a group which I founded in the southwest that helps all farmers in order to grow. It is meant to develop farmers, because when you have a group whereby they are developing, you see, you will not lose them. You will not lose them. And then this Otitobori has been getting inputs for farmers, which I used to distribute to them in terms of water pump, fertilizer, chemical, and so on and so forth, including cash.
Farmers' cooperative societies such as Otitobori, among others, engage in crop production such as cassava, maize, pepper, among others, which indeed has helped in food security in the country. For farmers' groups, the utmost need is for farm input.
I used to tell my farmers, if there is an organization or government that can provide inputs, input is the same thing as money, because the government use money to buy inputs for the farmers. You see, I don't even believe in providing cash for farmers, because I will say that no farmer is not have something like debt. So if you give them money, they will first of all take part of that money to address that problem. But if you give them fertilizer, chemical, water pump, and so on and so forth, or can assist in doing irrigation of this type to them. I'm not talking of cash, but even it is more than cash.
Olufumiola is a member of the Cooperative and one of the major stakeholders of Kayefest Farms. Olufumi and her husband acquired these hectares of land in Ogun State to carry out a massive crop production.
This is a project that has been a dream for me and my husband. What could be our contribution to the nation? And one of the major challenges we have in this nation is food security. So I kept on looking at how can we do something that we have a good weather. I've been abroad where they have 3 months weather for summer, and the remaining 3 months they have 9 months they have greenhouses and other stuff, and they're coping. So I kept on looking, how can we do it? So when I now got into this section of this farming stuff, I look at it. Even if you have a farm, after a little while, when the rains are off, then especially in this Ogun State, the weather is so hot that you can hardly produce anything. Then I now, incidentally, I got in contact with the Otitobori groups, the Farmers Forum, and I saw Baba Aditutu. So encouraging. He knows what he's doing. He understands farming perfectly. He has the off-takers right on his fingertips. He has a lot of ideas. So when we met, he now told me that, Madam, if you want to do this thing, you need money. I said, don't worry. I will put in my best. And let's see. So he gave us the irrigation company. They came, they assessed, they gave us a very high bill. And we started. And that's how got to this place.
Olufumiola is optimistic that if government could collaborate with her and her organization, the capacity of their production would be greatly enhanced.
If the government can come to our aid to support us, let them come and see what we are doing. Let them come and see the level of the output, how far we can go. Whatever they want us to do more, we are ready. So we want the government to come and know us, come and help us, so that we, at least for us to cover even half of Ogun State, talk less of looking at the whole of the Southwest. That's what we want government to do for us.
Cowpea, also known as black-eyed pea, belongs to the family of legumes known as beans. It is a popular leguminous grain that serves as food for both humans and animals. As a crop, it is grown in the semi-arid tropics of Africa, Europe, Asia, Central and South America, and the United States. It is a drought-tolerant plant and performs well in different types of soil. Cowpea is a common staple in Africa and many parts of Europe for its protein content, which stands at an average of 25%. It also contains several vitamins and minerals. Cowpea is an important agricultural commodity among farmers in developing countries due to its adaptability, resistance to drought and erosion, as well as its ability to improve soil fertility when the roots are left to decay. The young leaves, immature pods, immature seeds, and mature dried seeds are eaten in whole by humans, while the stem, vines, and leaves serve as feed for animals. It can be cooked and eaten as beans meal, processed and eaten as beans cake, locally known as akara, or as beans pudding, also called moi moi. As at 2018, global production of cowpea was 7.4 million tons, with more than 90% produced in Africa. Nigeria is currently the world's largest producer of cowpea, accounting for almost half of the entire global production. As at 2018, the country produced about 3 million tons. A metric ton of cowpea sells for between $1,100 and $1,300 per metric ton.
This is the much we can take on this episode, but bear in mind that opportunities are there in the cassava value chain and the agricultural sector. Join a farmers' cooperative society so that government intervention can reach you speedily. Thank you very much for investing your time with us. Join us again, same time, same station next week for another interesting episode. Bye for now.